Thank you. Thank you so much, Jeff and the Unity Band. Fantastic. So good morning, everybody. I'm Greg Denning, and I'm filling in while Reverend Sharon is on grief leave. And we're so welcome. And also, is anybody here for the very first time? Okay. Did you get a welcome packet? Okay. Looks like if anybody didn't, please raise your hand, and Ed will help you out with that. So if you are here for the first time, on the tables you'll find connection cards, and those we'd be grateful if you'd fill that in with some of your information. And they're also good for if you have feedback you'd like to provide. And I'd like to welcome folks that are joining us via live streaming. Our congregation is a hybrid service where we've got both in-person and online content. So welcome to anybody who's out there online. And we do have tables, some that appear from time to time on camera, and others that are off camera. So if you don't like to be on camera, we have some tables marked that it's safely off camera for your comfort. And also after service, We'll be having some fellowship time with beverages and snacks, and we encourage you to stay around and do some fellowship. And our mission statement is to spiritually awaken to our oneness with God, with each other, and with all creation. And that comes from our vision, which is a world powerfully transformed through the growing movement of a shared spiritual awakening. And because we honor all paths, let's join together in an ecumenical prayer. The enlightenment of the Buddha shines within us. The compassion of the Christ moves through us. The power of Jehovah strengthens and guards us. The presence of Allah surrounds and guides us. Wherever we are, the Tao is, and all is God. And we also would like to take a moment. We have neighbors that are nearby and neighbors that are all across the world celebrating either times of gratitude and joy or pain and loss. So let's join together to bless our neighbors. We pray with understanding and compassion in our hearts, knowing divine light shines even in the darkest moments. We bless the continued work of the world's essential workers and all those devoted to serving others in times of need. We bless those in grief, whatever their loss, knowing God is their strength. We lift our gaze to remember our shared humanity, our unity. Centered in God's divine presence within, we know the truth for each person in our world neighborhood. We are guided by wisdom arising in love as we act in ways that foster peace and wholeness for all. And so it is. Amen. And let's continue with our prayers by blessing this congregation. Unity Spiritual Center of Lansing embraces its journey of spiritual growth as we walk this new path of bountiful blessings. We are emerging as a greater expression of love, a force for good in our neighborhood. Receptive to the handprint of God, we are guided to fields of unlimited possibilities to be a meaningful light shining in our world. And so it is. Allah, Shalom, Amen, Namaste. And this looks like the same question we had for discussion last week, which is, we're having a mosquito boom in mid-Michigan, and it's easy to just dismiss them as horrible pests, but there's probably a deeper meaning. So if you'd like to discuss what you think the divine purpose of mosquitoes is, that's fine. Or, because we talked about it last week, if you'd like to just talk about something else, that's fine too. And we'll come back together for our opening song. Take a look at the person next to you. Say, God loves you and I love you too. Now feel the love in the sanctuary. Lift your voice and repeat after me. We come together, we come together, we come together. In the name of love, we come together, we come together, we come together. In the name of love, take a look at the person next to you. Say, I recognize the God in you. Now feel the love in the sanctuary. Lift your voice and repeat after me. We come together, we come together, we come together. In the name of love, we come together, we come together, we come together. In the name of love, from every walk of life, every creed and color, in kinship we unite, in honor of the God in each other. Take a look at the person next to you. Say namaste, I bow to you. Now feel the love in the sanctuary. Lift your voice and repeat after me. We come together, we come together, we come together. In the name of love, we come together, we come together, we come together. In the name of love, we come together, we come together, we come together. In the name of love, we come together. One more time. We come together, we come together. In the name of love. Thanks. And please be seated. Okay, now I'd like to welcome our platform assistant, Lisa.
Good morning. It's Dance Party Sunday. I'm Lisa Schmidt, and I'm your platform assistant for today. Today's daily word is journey, inspired by the Bible verse Psalm 121, verse 8. The Lord will keep your going out and your coming in from this time on and forevermore. We feel excited at the beginning of our journey, thinking about the adventure, the beautiful sights, and the fascinating people we will find at our journey's end. Even as we look forward to reaching our destination, however, we remain alert, open to the adventures and insights that await discovery along the way. Our faith tells us that our spiritual journey began in the heart of God, long before our human birth. In childhood, we looked outward, longing for the adventures that would become waypoints on our journey to maturity. Now we journey inward, longing for the spiritual home we never really left. We are learning that even the most ordinary day can become an opportunity to realize that the heart of God is present everywhere. Let us affirm together, our life's journey begins and ends in the heart of God. And those of you who know me know I kind of like Joyce Meyer, and one of the things she always says is, you're never surprised to God, no matter what you do. He knows. Okay, so we are agreeing and disagreeing in love. We commit to agreeing and disagreeing in love in our lives. And for this week, July 25th, we commit to agreeing and disagreeing in love in our lives by being firm in our commitment to seek a mutual solution. We strive to be hard on issues and soft on people. We are open to accept skilled help. If we cannot reach agreement among ourselves, we will use those with gifts and training in peacemaking. We trust the wisdom of our Unity community and the decisions of our community members. Let us affirm together, we are committed to peacemaking and the demonstration of principle. Our Sunday services are hybrid experiences. This means they will be available to you both on location and online, whichever works best for you. Live stream and recordings of the services are on our website, YouTube, and Facebook. Currently, we continue to offer classes and meetings online and anticipate expanding to offering hybrid experiences by the fall. Details of all our activities can be found on our website, unitylansing.org, and in our weekly e-news. Our prayer ministry team continues to be active and available to hold you and your loved ones in prayer. Prayer requests can be placed in the prayer box in our lobby or electronically through the website or with a phone call to the church. As we settle into our new home, our ministry teams and activities are reactivating. Our fellowship team is in full swing and could use a few more team members. The Lunch Bunch is meeting the first Tuesday of the month, beginning August 3rd. Kay Batterson will soon be starting a section of our outreach team to help connect us with our neighbors. And on August 1st, following service, there will be an organizational meeting to restart SALT. Our Sunday, yeah. Yeah.
9:30 before service.
Oh, okay. On August 1st at 9:30 before service, there will be an organizational meeting to restart SALT, our Sunday adult learning time, that happens before Sunday services. More information can be found on our website and in our weekly e-news. If you're not receiving our weekly e-news, you can sign up for it using the connection cards on the tables. A new team has formed to focus on diversity, equity, and inclusion in our community. If you're interested in being part of this important work, please email Teresa Mulford at tjmulford@aol.com. And you may have noticed when you walked in, we received some generous book donations, and we can't keep them all. So we sorted through them, and there's a whole bunch available to anyone who would like to give them a new home right as you walk in on that long white table near the entrance to our sanctuary. And now I'd like to welcome our soloist, Linda Abar.
I see you guys scammed a new picture of me off the internet. That's kind of cool. I like it. No more of my Mona Lisa thing. So I'm going to say a few words here. I read the Course in Miracle. I called Julie to find out the topic, and I read the over and over. I wanted to write a song, but this is a song I sing to myself when I'm weary and need to rest in God. I am weary, let me rest is what it's called. It's from O Brother, Where Art Thou? Kiss me, mother, kiss your darling. Lay my head upon your breast. Put your loving arms around me. I am weary, let me rest. Seems the light is sometimes fading. Brighter scenes they do now show. I am standing by the river. Angels wait to take me home. Kiss me, mother, kiss your darling. See the pain upon my brow, while I'll sing with the angels. Help me with my future now. Through the years you've always loved me, and my life you've helped to save. So now I can slumber sweetly kiss me, mother, kiss your darling. Lay my head upon your breast. Put your loving arms around me. I am weary, let me rest. I am weary, let me rest. Thank you.
Probably, yeah. And now it's my great pleasure to introduce Reverend Julie Dillon from Fellowship for Today. So come on up.
I did. I turned it off. I was afraid you were going to hear me sing before. I was sparing everyone. But thank you, Linda. Oh my goodness. How beautiful. We talk about an angel singing. Oh my goodness. Well, hello, everyone. Hello. I see a lot of faces that I know, and it's so nice to see and meet people I haven't met. So I'm so glad to be here. Unfortunately, under these sad circumstances. Today, I'd like to talk about one of my favorite lessons. Everyone can hear me. This sounds pretty loud, doesn't it? Okay, you can hear me. It is Lesson 109 from the Course in Miracles. It's I Rest in God. And I'm going to talk also about rest and the importance of it in our spiritual lives, just in general. So I'm going to start with this 109, and I'm just going to read a couple sections. And if you do get the opportunity, I would really suggest to actually look at, there's like 2 pages, and it's beautiful. And actually, I'll tell you a little bit about how I'm going to organize that. So I'm going to talk about the lesson, or incorporate some general rest, and some ideas of how we can remember to rest in God. And then we're going to have a meditation. And on the table, there's a couple of cards, and you do have some pens. If not, there's some extra pens over by Mary and Samantha. And at the end of the meditation, I'm going to mention a question, and a question to reflect on. And if it speaks to you and you would like to write down any thoughts, you can jot it down on the back of, oh my goodness, I'm going to trip on my scarf. Here we go. Okay. But you can jot it down, and then if we have time, maybe we can share a couple of our comments. So and that's just a little idea of just the order of how the talk will go. Okay, and so this lesson, why I chose this, it just speaks to me. It is a blend of a meditation, it's an invitation, it's a prayer, and it blends poetry. And for instance, I'll just share section 2 with you. I rest in God. This thought will bring to you the rest and quiet, peace and stillness, and the safety and the happiness you seek. I rest in God. This thought has the power to wake the sleeping truth in you, whose vision sees beyond appearances to the same truth in everyone and in everything. So it is a thought that puts us back on track, reminding us of God's peace in all of our lives and how the truth within us helps all minds. Another section, which is another beautiful section, it's number 6. It says, each hour that you take your rest today, a weary mind is made glad. A bird with broken wings begins to fly, and a stream long dry begins to flow again. The world is born again each time you rest. And I remember thinking, after reading, and this is just a small section, these words here, and I was thinking, boy, this piece, this is what I want. You know, this is something I'd like to add to my practice. And to be honest, there were always things that I would add to it, but and in a way that I was too busy. It's like, oh, I'll get to that after that spiritual workshop I'm doing, or after I'm done with, with that book, or when I'm, through with my grief work that I'm doing, or forgiveness work. So there was always something to do first. And I think a lot of us can relate to that. Please show me I'm not alone in that. Thank you. Robert Holden, one of my favorite Course in Miracles teachers, he's an author, psychologist. He recently said, referring to this lesson, that he was in too much of a hurry and too impatient to get to his future. And he says that he suffered from what he calls a destination addiction. And I love that. And he fully intended to rest in God, but just not yet. And I think many of us, of course, we can relate to this. Wayne Muller, in his book entitled The Sabbath, Finding Rest, Renewal, and Delight in Our Busy Lives, he talks about the importance of rest. And he uses the word Sabbath, and both as a specific practice and also a larger metaphor to start a discussion on this need for rest, and often so forgotten. He states the Sabbath, this rest, is more than a lifestyle suggestion. It is a spiritual precept in most of our spiritual and religious traditions. For instance, in Buddhism, when we act from a place of deep rest, we are capable of cultivating what the Buddhists calls right action, right understanding, right effort. And with this rest, we become available to the insights and blessings of this deep mindfulness that arrive from stillness and time. So the emphasis is on stillness and time, right? Okay, in a recent Unity article entitled The Sabbath, it states, a Sabbath occurs when we become quiet and still within. It is necessary for the good of the whole person, as well as the right outworking of the creative process. So we can observe a Sabbath anytime because it is a state of consciousness. It's not just this day, this time in my morning practice. It's whenever we choose to take this time, this rest. And for many of us, we often, with our busyness, with our schedules, we have a tendency, I call it just kind of edging God out, or maybe putting our spiritual practice to the bottom of the to-do list, and for seemingly important reasons, right? And it could be you're dealing with a medical issue. Maybe it's you're dealing with a financial crisis that needs to be, that that you're addressing at the time. Maybe it's after you switch your job. We can go on and on. But unfortunately, those are the times when we really, really do need to lean into love, into God, right? And these are the times when we often just forget. So I think for us, our work is in remembering, right? Remembering to remember, to rest in God. And I'm going to suggest, and also remembering the rest is available right now, right here. And often we hear the phrase after someone has passed, but that's not true. This rest can be in the midst of our lives. It doesn't have to be after we're gone. So we can do this. Okay, so here we go. How do we remember to rest? And I think it will look a little different to all of us, and you will know. I think when you check in, you'll know when you go within what strategies. I'm going to suggest 3 that I use. One is a morning practice. For me, you probably don't want to talk to me unless I've had that morning practice. And kidding aside, I mean, it is so helpful. In my practice, it's some prayer time. There's quiet time. There's some movement. And there are some days when it's some journaling. It's some forgiveness work that I'm doing that just flows from this stillness, this quiet time. So singing, right? It's dancing and walking. I just find it so different. And it sets the tone for the day. And I think a lot of us will know if we don't spend some time with our spiritual readings, it's with our prayer time, the day will look different. And for me, it can be a real hurried and stressful day, or it can be a peaceful and more balanced day. So I truly believe this. It does work. And even when the day does goes off track, right? It's never quite as bad as it could be. I know Marianne Williamson talks about it often, and I love she has lovely stories. But when we truly know that we rest in God, we just show up differently. We show up differently in our conversations, in our work, in all of our relationships. And then I think most importantly, we get to see with more clarity our blind spots. If we've taken that time and we get to step back, we can see with a little more clarity. I know for me, I catch myself all the time. If I get annoyed or if I'm judging something or for whatever happens, I find that I recognize it now quicker. And that's good. I call that good. And the recovery time is better. So taking that time. And let's say, and when I do find resistance, and I don't know if sometimes you have resistance to do your practice, is it when you're tired, or we might say we're too busy, or whatever, I always go back to the words of Holly Holden, another Course in Miracles teacher from England that I just love. And she defines the word discipline as spending time with the teacher that loves you. So I go back, if I'm in this little cranky mood to do my morning practice, I just have to shift. I want to spend time with a teacher that loves me. And that helps me to reset, shift my thinking, to get into a much better frame of mind. So a second way, so this is where how do we remember to rest in God? Second way is what you are doing right here. You're in spiritual community. This is just beautiful, seeing how you gather. I can feel the love. I can feel it. I felt it when I walked in this room. Just even coming on the grounds. So that's what you're doing it. You're truly doing it. You're participating. And you're participating, I don't know where your cameras are, but I know you're doing it too on Zoom, right? Or whichever, however you're choosing to do it. You're having these classes, workshops. Boy, spending time with spiritual friends. How valuable. You guys are doing it. This is what helps us to remember. And sometimes we can't see things that aren't, that we might be, of course we have hardships and we're struggling with issues. Our friends help us. And more light is coming in through two windows than one. So you share with your hearts with each other, and you're truly deepening relationships. It's just beautiful. I see this beautiful dance that you all are doing, this giving and receiving, and it's lovely. Okay, a third way to remember to rest in God is, I would suggest just repeating these words slowly, and let's do that. So I invite you just to close your eyes or gaze downward just for a moment, and let's just take a nice slow inhale and a nice deep slow exhale. And let's just repeat slowly to yourself the words, I rest in God. So inhaling and exhaling. Maybe it's I rest in love. Whatever word that you resonate with. I rest in God. I rest in love. And just these short pauses, these words put us into a state of willingness and receptivity. I don't say that word. In a place to receive. And that was just a short time. So, and I invite you to just use that practice throughout the day. I try to remember if I'm feeling like stressed or if I'm having any kind of anxiety or disease, I try to go back to those words. Just using those words are just so comforting. And okay, today, with so much going on, I don't need to tell anyone, there's just in every possible way, it can be very easy for us to get to feel overwhelmed. And we might ask ourselves, why should we be resting right now? Wouldn't that be some kind of avoidance? Isn't that selfish? Isn't that disengaging? But I suggest, and as many traditions suggest, that we need to be replenished. And unless we are fully filled up, we cannot be in the world with purpose, and we can't be in service to others if we are not fully rested. So and this section 109, it states it so beautifully. I'll share that. It's the world is born again each time you rest. And often remember that you came to bring the peace of God into the world, that it might take its rest along with you. So when we re-enter the world from our rest, we bring the peace that we have created in our minds to every person. So instead of thinking this might be selfish or disengaging, I think this truly is one of the most important gifts that we can be bringing to the world, this peaceful, this rested, loving presence. Holly Holden, the Course in Miracles teacher from London, she calls it a cosmic refueling. And we can't keep up our work here if we do not refuel. We need to stop, fill our tanks with truth, rest in the goodness that tells the truth about everything. And only then can we go back out and follow our guidance and truly love one another. So, at first glance, we think of this idea of resting as, we're just doing this for ourselves. But it truly is only a starting place. When you take this authentic rest, you are creating a resting spot for others. And your heart, as the lesson says, your heart becomes a place where the tired and weary can come to be replenished. Today, I know so many people are hurting. There's so much fear, anxiety. There's such tragic loss. And I know a lot of you are feeling this as well. And for us to be that peaceful, resting, loving presence is so crucial. And I know, I have no doubts, you are the people that are bringing that love, that peace, and that rest. But I think we do need to remember to keep that up. We do need to take this rest. And we can trust that this rest, this love, will ripple out. We might not see the effect today, but it'll be there. Like feeling the presence, we're just walking on this land. It is there. Know the rippling effects is great. So in sum, resting in God is available right now. Remembering, our work is to remember. Remembering to remember, to rest in God. 3 ideas, just having a practice, right? Spending time with a teacher who loves you. Number 2, your spiritual community, what you're doing. Keep connecting with the heart, with your spiritual friends, this beautiful community. And 3, and it could be saying the words quietly to yourself, or perhaps there's words that you resonate with a little more. But create the space, that quiet time in your day. And truly, you don't need to have this great length of time to do it. No, you don't. Just keep, just remembering to spend that time, that quiet, create that stillness. And now, we're going to have a song, right? Greg is going to lead us with a song, and then we'll have our meditation.
I will surrender to my greatest, highest good. I will release any fear that blocks my way. For every step I take is taken in pure faith. And I am stronger every moment, every day. My mind is willing and my heart is open wide. I trust my instincts and let Spirit be my guide. I vow to live a life that's real and true and free. As I continue walking in this mystery, there may be walls, there may be roadblocks in my way, but I can choose to take a higher path each day. And now I know that what I thought was safe and sound was only habit and regret that held me down.
Thank you. Oh, so beautiful. Okay, and now I am going to invite you to close your eyes or perhaps gaze downward. And remember, at the end, we'll have time to just jot down a thought on the back of the card after our meditation. And let's just take a breath in together as one. And a breath out together as one. And let's use our breath as a symbol of our willingness to center, relax, and be still. And we're just taking another slow, deep breath, just fully arriving right here, right now. And just really receive this message of resting in love, resting in God. And try to really experience this rest. And perhaps it might be useful to use an image of an angel being embraced by an angel, or a loving mother. Maybe it's being next to a beautiful tree or sitting with the Buddha. I like to envision two large, large hands that I climb into, the hands of love, of the divine, and just truly resting there. Just breathing in and out. Feel this love. Feel this support. This rest. This care. And here, in this loving space, any concern, any issue you're dealing with right now, let's just lay that down. Just lay it down in the loving hands, or with the Buddha, or with an angel. And just laying that concern, that issue, that person, just lay it down. And surrendering the entire concern to God's care. We can truly lay them down. And perhaps saying, this too, this issue, this person, this concern I have, this too can rest in God. And returning to your healing, peace, and rest. And from this space, we can bring everyone to this holy sanctuary where we rest. in this peaceful state, I invite you to reflect just for a moment or two on the question, how might our lives be different when we truly know that we rest in God? How might our lives be truly different when we truly know that we rest in God? If any thoughts come to mind, you could jot them down on the back of the card, or not, or perhaps maybe later. And maybe perhaps placing your hands on our heart, on your heart. Let's visualize that this restful, loving energy and light that we created here goes out to Reverend Sharon and her family, and to all the places where love, light, and healing are needed most. And let's just take a breath or two, and with each breath becoming more aware of your body and where you're sitting, in your hands and toes. And I invite you, would anyone are we okay with time? We're good? Okay, would anyone like to share if any thoughts that might have come to them? Or, okay, yes. Oh, that's beautiful. Beautiful. Thank you. Thank you. Anyone else like to share? Okay, Carol? Yeah. Beautiful. Yes. Thank you. Yeah. Thank you. Anyone else? Oh, Dan?
I will find peace and remember who I am. Send love to the world. The world will be at peace.
And the world will be at peace. Beautiful. Beautiful. Thank you. Thank you. Okay. Namaste. Thank you so much.
And I'd like to welcome back Linda Abar for another lovely song.
I think Julie deserves another round of applause. And I apologize. I was supposed to introduce Julie, and I failed to do that. I was focused on moving the music stand. You can't give me two tasks. I can only do one. But Julie, I mean, her presence and her ability to speak to us and to our hearts and our spirits, I think pretty much speaks for itself after witnessing her. But she is heavily involved with the fellowship for today. That's where you graduated from ministry school, correct? But to me, Julie, she studies constantly and every day. That's just who she is. And I've watched her grow and grow and grow and grow, and it inspires me deeply. So thank you. Oh, shoot, I'm going to get all verklempt, and now I got to sing. Okay, I'm good. Birds flying high, you know how I feel. Sun in the sky, you know how I feel. Reeds drifting on by, you know how I feel. It's a new dawn, it's a new day, it's a new life for me. And I'm feeling good. Fish in the sea, you know how I feel. River running free, you know how I feel. Blossoms in the trees, you know how I feel. It's a new dawn, it's a new day, it's a new life for me. And I'm feeling good. Dragonflies out in the sun, you know what I mean, don't you know? Butterflies all having fun, you know what I mean. Sleep in peace when day is done, that's what I mean. And this old world is a new world and a bold world for me. And I'm feeling good. Stars when you shine, you know how I feel. Scent on the pine, you know how I feel. Now freedom is mine and I know how I feel. It's a new dawn, it's a new day, it's a new life for me. And I'm feeling good. Unity Band. They know how to rock it. Thank you.
Thank you, Linda. And while Linda was singing, I don't know if anybody saw it, but there were deer running back. You don't get that in the city. Oh, okay. This is the time during our Sunday service when we acknowledge the practice of generosity. The pandemic has changed many of our practices, including how we support the work of Unity. Some of us prefer to continue to support Unity through gifts made online or through the mail. Others of us prefer to make our sacred exchange when we are present at service. You can use the envelopes on the tables and place it into the bowl when you are complete with blessing it. These envelopes will be safely collected by our ushers following the close of service. As a community, we practice sacred generosity by tithing of the gifts we receive. And this month, we're sharing tithes with our Congregants' Choice for the third quarter. Cristo Rey Community Center, who continues to provide essential services to those in need. Let's take a moment to bless the many gifts we have received and the gifts we're able to share with others by singing, "I Am So Blessed." I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so grateful for all that I have. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so grateful. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so grateful for all that I have. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so grateful. I am so blessed. Having acknowledged the blessings we have been able to share, we bless our practice of generosity as we feel deep appreciation for the love, the kindness, and the support that blessed each of our lives and this community. Let's affirm together. Divine love through me blesses and multiplies all that I am, all that I have, all that I give, and all that I receive. I praise, give thanks, and am glad. We'll join together in our closing song, I Choose Love, followed by the prayer of protection.
Let's all stand up, celebrate together.
Peace in my life is growing because I choose love. Love's always present, it's what we're made of. I choose love. We are a part of each other. We are one tie that binds us. This can't be undone. I choose love. Peace on the planet is growing because I choose love. Let love be present, it's what we're made of. I choose love. We are a part of each other. We are one. One choice unites us. Let this be the one. I choose love. I choose love. We choose love. The light of God surrounds us. The love of God enfolds us. The power of God protects us. The presence of God is within us. Wherever we are, God is, and all is well. Thank you, God.